Hey, what's good, y'all? Here to bring you another video, this time of the Damn Toys 112 Testman. So I believe it's Testman. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the video. I wanted to review this a while ago, but actually, this is around the same time I first got Riley, my third cat, and he took a very much liking to one of the Testmen today. He hung out with him a lot. So it's been hard trying to get it out of his grasp. But yeah, here we are reviewing the 112 Damn Toys Testman. And this I got because he looks, or at least he's a tribute figure to the Crash Test Dummies. And I absolutely loved that show as a kid. It was hilarious. It was silly. It was way ahead of its time, actually. So it's really cool to see them do something like this. So yeah, this is similar to a Body Kun in terms of shape and articulation. And I'm going to compare those later so you guys can see what's going on with that. So yeah, let's get into it. Real quick, here's the look. You guys can see what's up with this guy. Very slim body, very Japanese proportioned, very Japanese scaled size. So the Damn Toys 112 scale is very SHF scaled, very Figma scaled. It's not like the Mezco or McFarlane stuff where they're in Marvel Legends where those are 6-inch and 7-inch scale. This is what they consider Japanese 112 scale, or at least Asian 112 scale. So yeah, articulation wise, we can look up about this far. We can pull our head down, but he can't really look too far down. The neck doesn't just really move that far. I was expecting a little bit more with that, but I guess because of the elongated neck and the way it's shaped, you just can't get that real far down look. In terms of our arms, we have the ability to lift all the way up, so we can get there. We have our bicep swivel. Load it up, dope. We have our double jointed arm, which again is a delightful thing when you want to be a silly guy and do cool stuff or just do fun poses. Our arm joint actually rotates on a nice little joint inside. And again, you can rotate all the way around, so there's no real issue. As far as our upper torso goes, we get a very stiff movement here, which is something I really wasn't feeling. It's very stiff up there, especially for something I was considering to be highly posable, and it's called Testman. I was expecting the wacky, classic, ridiculous articulation of the original Crash Test Dummy. I got a little too excited, and I did not get that here. Now, we have a small forward crunch, and we have literally no real back movement. Another thing, if you guys can't see it, I'm going to point out is that there is a lot of rub here. So when moving it forward for that ab crunch, it actually scratches the black parts a lot. So please be aware and be careful of that. Then we have our lower waist swivel, which can swivel side to side and can tuck in. This will help with your ab crunch, but it won't help much because as you can see, that's about as far as it goes. Backwards, we actually get a lot more movement, but we don't get that forward movement, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is, right? Our legs can go really far forward. We have a very nice angle going forwards. It actually can reach higher, a little bit more acute, so you don't get the straight 90-degree angle. You actually get an acute angle, so you can get in there, right? Then we have a forward and backwards. Then we have a rotating swivel here on our legs. We have a toe pivot as well. And as you can see here, the leg is double jointed and there is thigh swivel. So you can get some pretty decent poses with the lower half. It's the upper torso that's a little disappointing, but considering it's easily moddable for those guys that mod, I don't see you guys having too much of a problem, especially with the head too. So if you modify the back, you probably can get an extra ability to look up. And let's say you mod it inside with a Dremel, you can probably look down as well too. But yeah. Overall, I actually had a lot of fun with the figure still. I was just disappointed by the fact that the range of movement seemed like a lot more, especially with you labeling something called Testman. But that's when I learned, you know, I shouldn't have got my hopes up. My childhood excitement went over my rules of not getting excited for something until I have it in hand. But this is still exciting, just not as exciting as I was hoping for. And that's the problem with me hoping for something before I get it in hand, which is why I don't do that. But yeah. Overall, you still get a nice look, nice feel, and it's still a reasonably priced figure. I believe it was only like 40 bucks shipped, and I got mine from Empire Toy Shop. I'm not sure if they have any more at this time. But yeah, movement-wise, we still get a lot of range. Now, accessory-wise, let's talk about that, what we get with him. As you can see, he has 2 open palms like this. But what you get with him, you'll also get 2 closed fists. Did you see here? You'll get a weapons holding hand, and a hand for when it's a hand that takes 2 hands. So you'll get that holding hand, assuming the Testman is always right-handed. Nobody ever assumes a Testman is left-handed. Not fair to us lefties. Well, I'm ambidextrous, but that's not the point. You have a left pointing hand. If you guys can see that. Then we have 2 more hands, and these ones are a smaller closed fist version, and I believe these are for holding bladed weapons, so keep that in mind. We'll get into that in a second. And then we have one just flat open palm. I'm gonna call this the slap hand, because when somebody get out of line, you gotta slap them, right? Now, what we also get is we get a stand, which I never ever plan on using, obviously, because I've never even opened it. And then you get a set of decals for Testman to make Testman your hazardous crash test dummy, which I think was a pretty cool add-on for this. I think this was really nice that they did this. And I've got a second one that I did add some decals to. Shout out to Mysterious Builder X, as always, for helping me out with that. And I've had these for a while on. They don't have a problem staying on for the most part. The only one that has a real issue is right here, where there's a lot of rubbing, because I obviously do a lot of action stuff. So yeah, still pretty fun. Let's put you back there now that everybody knows I have 2, so we can have you watch over your buddy. Yeah. Now we're gonna jump to my favorite part and the experimental stage that I'm gonna try out with this one. I'm going to jump into a comparison of that with the Body Kun, as well as the size comparison. So let's do that as we get this guy set up right now. All set up, all nice. Let's get going. Hey guys, we're gonna jump into the experiment and the size comparison. One thing that I want to talk about with Testman is that I want to test how he works out with weapons. And that's one thing that I've actually never done off screen, so I'm going to do it here on screen with you guys. Is that I figured, since he's Japanese 1/12 scale, we look at the little armory weapons, which I have here, one of the little armory weapons. And I want to see if he can actually hold these weapons. Let's take this part off to not give me any sort of trouble while I'm doing it. And as we can see here, with ease, he holds little armory 1/12 scale with no problem, right? Little armory is a plus. That was just one of the weapons. We're going to try one more just to make sure, you know, we're doing it right. And then we have, I believe this is an MP5. And MP5 has a little bit of an issue sliding in, but once on, it fits with no problem. Next up, we're going to do our weapons like swords and pipes. And this is the default open hand. As you can see, it holds it, but it's kind of loose. So let's take this hand off and try the closer closed hand that I talked about earlier in the review. And then we're gonna plug this in. And this holds it properly with no issue. So holding a pipe, there's no problem, but let's test out a sword. There we go. Let's test this bad boy out. And yep, holds it with some problem. Hold on, let me make sure I got it in all properly. So even with holding it, it has a little bit of an issue conforming to the waist shape, the shape of the hand. So you got to be careful there. So we have our answers towards that. And if we try a Marvel Legends weapon, so let's try Marvel, we can obviously see that this handle is way too big. So that's not going to work. But even on these smaller women's weapons, it does work. So let's keep that in mind. Now we're gonna compare him size-wise and look and articulation-wise to the SH Fig Arts Body Kun 1.0 and 2.0 body. So here we have the 1.0 body, right? And then we're going to grab the 2.0 body, because I know I have it here somewhere. There we go. The Takarari Hito version. And from what I can tell, I'm just finished sneezing off camera and it's just killing me right now. So many allergies. As we can see here now, I think that Testman is a mix of the two, because it's very close design-wise in the upper torso to the Takarari Hito version, while using SHF arm design, definitely SHF leg design, and definitely combining what could have been the best of both. Now, if we're looking at our front torso articulation, as you can see here, SHF on both versions have a very good forward ab crunch, but on this guy, we just don't have it. So while we get a really cool look into Damn Toys' and what they have underneath their clothes stuff, I think the SHF definitely has it a little bit better on the articulation, but this has a very nice a substitute. That's the word I'm looking for. Very nice substitute for those of you who can't get the SHF. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna jump into the size comparison. Here he is next to a 1000 Toys Synthetic Human. Here he is next to an Articulated Icons Ninja. These allergies are killing me. And as you can see, the damn Toys is actually smaller than these guys, and these are the smallest of them, right? Next up, we're going to do an G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, who's also holding a little armory weapon because his size actually works really well for them. And as you can see, he's even bigger than the Testman. Then we have an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga. And he's about the same height. So he definitely scaled well for the SHF and import stuff. Domestic stuff, damn Toys is gonna be a little bit smaller. Here we are with a Legends Black Panther. And then we're going to do a Cador from Mythic Legions. And let's do a Mezco Me, because I finally got mine off the display. I was messing around with some stuff. And as you can see here, damn Toy is definitely smaller. So if you collect a lot of SHF, this may be more in the realm for you. If you're doing more domestic stuff, this may be something you may want to pass on. May not be for you. But all in all, I think it's a great figure for practicing articulation, great for one for just photographing overall, and an overall cool toy to just still try out if you ever want to just get that nostalgia feeling from Crash Test Dummies. If that's your kind of thing, this may be for you, especially with the price tag. Otherwise, it may be something, you know, you can easily pass on. But it is a nice addition to what Damn Toys is doing, and I really like that they tried it. You know what I mean? There's always room for improvement too, because I've actually had this for a while. So this is something you got to consider too. So in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it very informative. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.